Okay, so what's that? Are both these things working? Grand. So this is our little cha-cha bird. This is millions of years ago, before anything knew about anything else, before there was anything. And millions of years ago, billions of years ago, I don't really even know, there was a sun that rose over this dusty, dark land that admittedly, rose, it was kind of beautiful. Everybody thought it was beautiful. And in this mystical dark land, there lived a little cha-cha bird. And it cha-cha'd its way all over the movable sky. And it quite enjoyed that. Flying on the breeze without its wings open, doing all kinds of silly things. And it got itself stuck in the tree, which was kind of awkward. But the tree moved for it, and that was okay. And then the whole landscape shifted to be less awkward. You see that? Until one day, in this lovely place, there was some violence that came in. And this violence will be repeated over and over again. Violence represented by... Oh no! Oh no! And this is, anybody know what it is? Come on, you're a part of this, you know. It's also, yes, it's violent, and it's also a T-Rex. Yes, exactly. The most violent of violent creatures until we had human beings. You got it. Okay. So, what we want to know, what the scientist really wants to know, and kind of he'll interject in this little thing quite a bit. What he really wants to know is, so, all you people who point at trees and are very angry, how did the dinosaurs die? This is what we want to know. You're a part of this, remember? So, dinosaurs, in the shifting landscape, how did they die? Millions of years ago. Oh, pardon me? A meteor came. We don't have a meteor. Anybody else? Ice age? We can't really facilitate an ice age. Anybody? Well, oh, what was that? The tree. Yes, the tree fell on them. And what happens millions of years ago when dinosaurs die? Well, they die, and then they turn into, atop the lovely clear brooks that are upside down, they turn into hydrocarbons. More simply put, you got it. Oil. And so, this signifies, in a moment, yes, the scientist says, this signifies, right here, this dirty stuff right there, was a long time ago. And over the passage of time, this stuff in the ground, this is millions of years, listen to the music, ready? Millions of years. Going. This oil stuff, this dirty stuff, goes underneath the ground in Saskatchewan, which is exactly what it looked like. Listen to the music, right? All right, everybody agree? That's the scientific truth? Oh, nobody. Okay, that's good. So, then, all of a sudden, once again, we had this beautiful... mountains went away. That's how Canadian Shield was formed. Okay, so all of a sudden, we had this beautiful world again. With lovely, lush trees, and beautiful rivers, atop this dirty, dirty oil. Beautiful rivers moving back and forth. Lovely, isn't it? Can you just hear that? Oh, that's cool. And we had the same telltale bird. And we had the same bird. Ah, the bird was killed, remember? We don't know if the bird anymore. Right. And then, what was the more violent creature that then came along? Everybody? Anybody? Screaming out loud when you recognize what he is? No, huh? Human! Come on! He's human, yes! And he's wicked, and he plays with all the water, and, you know, he chops down the trees with his mighty hand. Wah, da, wah. And breaks up the trees all into little tiny pieces. Which then he makes one day into a little place to play. A little sandbox. And he sits in the sandbox with his little car. Little tiny. Yeah, he has a little car in the sandbox and a little friend who wants to come and play with him. So this is what they're doing. Over and over again, and it seems like quite a blissful world. Everyone gets paid, everybody's happy. I can actually see you. Sky enjoying the music, everything's fine. Until one day, the scientist comes. Back. He's quite an old scientist, this guy. The same guy you might have remembered from before. And he says, look at all you people. Look at all you people. What are you doing to this place, to this beautiful land? I say, well, you know, we're just doing what we do. Doing what we do best. And the scientist takes vengeance, clearly, and decides to take the car out of the situation. And this guy says, well, what's the problem, really? The scientist says, well, you know what? Look what you're doing to the beautiful rivers, which once were here. Now, they're dirty and people are dying from them. Or there's something. He says, oh, well, you know what? I don't really care. The scientist says, oh, well, you should, because you know, it's important, and it's the world, and it's your grandchildren, and all these kinds of things. And then the guy thinks about it, and he thinks, grandchildren? One day I will have grandchildren. And all of a sudden, inside his head, there's a change. And he decides that he's going to trash the tar sandbox and not let it come into other places to destroy the water. And he feels great. And he has all kinds of celebrations and merriment. And it's wonderful. And he kind of dances as much as he really can. And in the celebration, he's approached by a little wind turbine hat, which he then picks up and kind of juggles and gets confused by. And then somehow he does a little flip. There we are, yeah. Because he's just doing a little jig, right? Oh, and it's on his head, yeah. And then it's his idea, right? I don't really know. His idea to see it on the mountain, spinning, not spinning. And so he puts it up on the mountain in a celebratory way. And then, again, all of a sudden, the world, but on top of him, becomes beautiful again. And if our bird was here, he would most certainly be weeping, he'd be singing up in the trees, singing about all kinds of beautiful things that will now happen with people and the land forevermore.
It's a new life for me, yeah.